Hey, what's up everyone? I hope this moment finds you doing well, especially given all of the craziness we see happening in the world around us right now. So, it's a time many of us saw coming, many of us did. We expected something like this at some point, but it's kind of inevitable, but you really start to wonder, given the fact every single election year, my father's talking to someone over in the Carolinas, where he delivered for his truck driving job, and they were talking about how every single election year there's some sort of virus outbreak. Now, this one being much worse, though. This one is much worse, without a doubt, than any of the previous ones that we've experienced. It got out of hand. But there's some kind of disaster every single election year, every single time. And he told them that's what my son was talking about, which that's me. He told them that I was talking about that. But every person you go by is going coughing, and just you see them running fever, you see them looking sick, and something is going on. And the World Health Organization has officially confirmed this as a pandemic. Just like in the movies, just like in the shows that they have been putting out for several years. Now, my question is, why are they putting off certain movie releases until May and June? That's my question. Some of them they've decided, oh, you know what? Instead of May or June, let's put off movie releases to August. What do they plan on this being out of the way in August? Just before the election time, just in time for the primaries to be over and the voting the primary voting to be over, and 3 months before the official election? Is that what the plan is? Or is there a plan? I mean, who knows? Or who knows? Who? World Health Organization? Play on words there. But my point is, it is officially a pandemic. A worldwide issue, a worldwide pandemic. There's a war on this virus. World War virus. So, you've got everyone sick. People are fearful. People are scared. They're burning money. They're wanting to go cashless in many different countries. China and Australia deciding to burn their money and go cashless, but they said, we can't do this for the poor and for the elderly people. Not everyone has money in their account all the time to just frivolously spend, like ourselves. We don't have money all the time in the bank account to be able to just frivolously use a debit card or pay with a phone, a watch, pay with your face, pay with your eyes, pay with your fingerprint, pay with your biometric scanning, pay with other forms of payment like a smartwatch or a smartphone. Or just use your debit card every single time from your bank account, use the microchip. No, you can't. We can't do that. And Indiana had to sign a bill saying you cannot force employees to use a microchip. You can't. They said they're seeing that taking place, and employees are claiming that, hey, you can touch. You don't have to touch the doors. We have automatic doors, but you can touch the door. You don't have to touch the doors. You don't have to use a fingerprint scanner. Just walk up to it and use your microchip to open it. They ever heard of a badge, an employee badge that you can put under your shirt and then just take it out and have it scanned, the barcode scanned, or a microchip inside the employee badge instead of inside the body? All you have to do is have near-field communication, read that radio frequency identification, the RFID chip that's inside the badge, or scan the barcode, as I've printed off many barcodes. You could do that, and you recognize the identification of the individual. No, they're not going to do that. But here's the thing. They had to sign a bill to keep that from happening in Indiana. I don't know about the other 49 states. But this coronavirus has officially become an epidemic. And then you've got doctors stating that other countries are doing a total quarantine situation. It's a lot. It's well over 100 nations. 150, 160 nations, countries. And there's quarantines going on all over, just like in the movies and shows that we were seeing happen for so many years. That I felt weird. I was like, you know what? I'm not watching this stuff. This is predictive programming, and that's what they plan. And I dreamed for a while. Many of us in the community have dreamed that they were quarantining us and putting us in certain buildings. Look at those FEMA camps and the Walmarts that they had turned into FEMA camps, and the chambers, the spray chambers, all kinds of things. They transformed them into what looked like prisons for FEMA. We saw four FEMA trucks go by through Tennessee earlier. We saw 4 unmarked 18-wheeler trucks that just had 4-6 on them. No names, just black, shiny trucks. You couldn't see on the inside. You couldn't see the driver. You couldn't see anything. They were heading toward Kentucky, and they were heading through U.S. Highway 31 East, heading north. That's where they were going, if anyone wants to know, into Kentucky. And there are so many cases. It's heading on 2,000 and above in the United States of the coronavirus. This individual was so nervous at the gas station earlier. He was nervous. He handed me some hand sanitizer to use, and I did. He did. He was shaky. He said, "I'm worried about my dad." He said, "So many people are coming down with cancer." And he said, "My dad has cancer. His dad has cancer." And my dad, he's afraid to go. We're afraid for him to go. We don't want him to go to the doctor either. The hospital. Think about shaking the doctor's hand and all of that. It's just ridiculous. And he said he doesn't want to. He wants to put off that surgery. He doesn't even want to do the surgery. They wanted to take a biopsy of his the pelvic area. The pelvic area. They want to take a biopsy of that particular area and see what the growth was. But he said, "I'm not hurting there. I'm hurting up here where the liver's at, and the right side." But he doesn't, and we don't want him to go to a hospital right now during a time of, and we already have medical bills out the wazoo right now, ridiculous amounts of medical bills from testing that's been done. And if anyone can ever utilize the donation link below to help us out, please feel free to do so. And you'll help this Truth channel out a whole lot, the ME channel and other various things. You'll help us out medically more than you know. But if you'd like to, if you can, that's great. If you can't, that's perfectly fine. Subscribe and all that good stuff anyway. But he doesn't want to do that, and I don't blame him. Mama doesn't blame him. We understand why, because you go in the hospital, all those sick people and everyone, you run the risk of that virus easily coming in contact with you. Shaking the hands of the doctor, signing the papers, grabbing the pen that everyone else has already touched. I mean, it's insane. It's absurd. You've got all of these viruses going around now, and everything that's happening, they've got people where they want them, really, in fear. Everyone living in fear. And it looks to be the situation that we've been seeing for a long time. People in their houses were dying in Italy, and no one did. He said that no one did a gosh darn thing for me. Well, I'm not stating all the language used, but they said not a flipping thing was done for the people that were there. They just sprayed the air. They quarantined every house in the entire country. I think it was Italy. I think Italy had that done, and people are being quarantined inside their houses, and people are dead. Several countries, people are dead in their houses, and they couldn't come out. And their sisters, their brothers, their loved ones are in there with them, dead. And the government finally comes in later and takes the person out of the house. People are being quarantined. They say, well, you should have already gotten your food, your water, your canned goods, and all of that stuff. Should have already gotten your drinks. They said your people are stocking up on Gatorades and Cokes and water and food and drinks and various things like that, and stocking up on canned food and all of that. Tuna packages, that's a good thing to stock up on. And then you've got whiplash in the market, up and down, up and down. Our world shouldn't be run by the stock market anyway, and those rich elites, but you've got everything that was, almost pretty much everything that was foretold in multiple various prophecies throughout the world that we live, happening right now. I've got some ME shifts that I want to share in another video very, very soon that just took place. I know the new shifts taking place because they just took place. We experienced them. But you've got officially this coronavirus epidemic. You've got animals that are randomly dying. Storms are outrageous. They say strong storms are headed our way tomorrow. Thursday, they say Tennessee could expect tornadoes, large hail, damaging winds, flooding and downpours of rain once again on Thursday throughout the day, the evening, night, and into Friday. And then more rain Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, and all of that. It's going to be hectic on Thursday, though. That's the most significant weather-aware day that's going to be for us. Sorry about the dark black screen. I could not get a screen recording to work. It just sounds like a bunch of gobbledygook. gobbledygook. It sounds like jumbled up mess. Every phone call we make anymore, when talking, I am sick of being listened to and monitored. My mama makes a phone call to Daddy. Daddy calls us. We talk. I talked on my phone. Talked on her phone. We all talked. Now, I know we have a micro cell tower that's plugged to our router that we use through the internet because we don't get signal here. Lucky to have one emergency bar of signal if we don't use that tower. I registered our numbers with it, so we have to use that. Every time we make a phone call, start talking about something that they don't want us to talk about, you hear, and you hear like a clicking, a recording, and also a click, 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 click. And Mama said, get your butts off of our dang phone. And Daddy was livid as well about it, and they were both just saying, get off our phones. There's nothing interesting here. If you want to monitor something, monitor the real stuff that's going on around us. And it quit. She said it quit for a few minutes. Once it started again, she said, hold on, I'm going to hang up and I'm going to call you back. And she hung up, called him back. It didn't happen anymore. And they were like, there's nothing worth monitoring here. You can move on. And it stopped. But anyway, we have the modernization of society. We have so much, the freedoms are just being taken away. You have this quarantine situation. This is an epidemic, a pandemic situation. And you have everyone's sick, people coming down with all kinds of illnesses, various things happening, disastrous storms, fear-mongering spreading everywhere. Just try to use some Lysol, some hand sanitizer. Use common sense. Stay aware, pray, have positive energy.